After a fun few days hiking around Zion, we've driven 1.5 hours to Bryce Canyon National Park, which we visited for the first time back in 2018.
Bryce Canyon National Park is famous for having the world's largest collection of hoodoos, which are rock columns that form over millions of years due to erosion from ice and rain.
We only have one full day in the park, so we're getting an early start and kicking it off with sunrise.
15 degrees out, but feels like 4. It's gonna be brutal, but should be worth it, right?
We have on as many layers as we could possibly fit on us, including 2 pairs of pants. We got hot coffee. Let's go do this. So beautiful with all the snow.
Bryce Canyon became a national park in 1928 and was named after Ebenezer Bryce, who was a Mormon settler who lived near the park. But back in 1280, well before European Americans and Mormons explored the area, the land was occupied by Paiute Native Americans.
And despite the name, Bryce Canyon is actually not a canyon, but a collection of natural amphitheaters which lie on the eastern slope of the Paunsaugunt Plateau. Watching the sunrise at Bryce Canyon National Park needs to be on every US bucket list. It is just one of the most magical experiences, watching the hoodoos go from being dark to starting to light up orange to just being filled with the sunlight. And we got the bonus of seeing them with snow this time, which is even more special. So dang cold, but totally worth it.
We're doing a couple hikes today, starting with the Queen's Garden and Navajo Loop. It's probably the most popular hike in the park, so we're getting started bright and early. It's about 3.5 miles and it takes you down all in between the hoodoos.
So obviously the star of Bryce Canyon National Park are all of these incredible hoodoos, and while most of the views in the park center around the hoodoos, what makes it really cool is that every single hoodoo looks different from the other. They're all different shapes, sizes, some are more tall and skinny, some are kind of wider. So even though the views in the park are basically all just hoodoos, you kind of get a different experience in every single spot.
A little Bryce Canyon National Park crowd tip. It seemed like when we were there for sunrise there was loads of people Lots of people there to take photos. Then once the sun rose, I guess everybody's going for breakfast or going back to bed, something like that. Because now that we're on the trail, we've seen a sporadic few people, but definitely not many. So much more that we saw than I expected for sunrise, but not as many as I expected on the trail.
So in the non-winter months, you can take this trail to an area called Wall Street, which has these narrow walls you can walk through. Then you go up these like really cool switchbacks back to the top of Bryce Canyon, but it's closed in the winter. I'm assuming just due to ice and how steep it is, and it's probably not super safe. But if you come in like the late spring, summer, definitely go on that. It's super cool. I'm so out of breath. This is like the Lombard Street of Bryce Canyon National Park. Whew.
So this is Ebenezer Bryce, the namesake of the park. Born in Scotland, moved to Utah, converted to Mormonism, lived around the area, and built a road into the canyon to harvest timber. So locals began calling it Bryce Canyon.
For hike number 2 of the day, we're doing the Fairyland Loop trail, which is 8 miles round trip and has about 1,500 feet of elevation gain. So it's quite a bit longer and harder than the first hike we did today. And we did this trail last time we were here, and we loved it for a few reasons. 1, it takes you to a different area of the park than we've been in so far. And 2, since it's longer, it tends to be less crowded. And y'all know we love to escape the crowds.
One really beautiful thing we really enjoy about Bryce Canyon is the trees that are intermixed with the hoodoos. So the green with the orange just gives a nice little contrast. And then also we're lucky enough to have the snow here. It's just so beautiful.
We're doing the trail counterclockwise, which everyone else we're coming across seems to be doing it clockwise, so maybe we missed the memo, but about 1.7 miles going that way, you come across this really interesting rock formation called Tower Bridge. And I'm not 100% sure why it's named that, probably because of the towers, but it does remind us of the Tower Bridge in London.
This may be one of the best views on the trail so far. Just tons of hoodoos right here, all around you. And then off in the distance is the sinking ship. We're about halfway done with the trail, and it's about getting to be lunchtime. We're getting a little hungry on the trail, so we found a nice spot under a nice shady tree, and we have a gourmet meal. We've got lunch meat, we've got carrots, we've got hummus, cucumbers, pepperoni, and cheese. The full lunch spread.
We call this meal trail charcuterie or adult Lunchables. I don't know, it's pretty simple, but it's really tasty, easy to transport, and healthy, so it's a win. I call this masterpiece a pepperoni sandwich. Has a nice spicy flavor of the pepperoni, and then like the freshness of the cucumber, and then a cheesy taste.
Can't beat that.
I like it. We are all fueled up and hitting the trail again. One important thing to know about Bryce is that there aren't a ton of dining options in or around the park, so we highly recommend packing a picnic lunch for when you're on the trail.
Made it back up to the rim, to the other trailhead, the actual official trailhead, but we parked at sunrise, so there's a bit of a walk back. We're hoping it's flat, but it's 2.7 miles.
We are so pooped, but what an amazing trail. You have views 99.9% of the time. It is just incredible, and it helps keep you going when you're huffing and puffing. We had to take so many breaks. I don't know if it's the elevation, if we're just tired from the week, but whew, it was tough, but absolutely beautiful.
Update, the trail back to the van is not flat.
It's kind of a bit of a slog. I'd almost suggest doing this part first.
Yeah.
So at least you end in the most scenic part. Oh, almost there-ish.
I hope so.
I really want ice cream. We'll see if I can convince Adam to go find some with me.
Doesn't take much.
I am so happy right now.
Haven't had one of these in probably a decade. The Snickers ice cream bar. This is good, I remember.
Heck yeah. Oh man, this is just what we needed. Just to give you an idea of where all we have been today at Bryce Canyon, we started with sunrise somewhere between Sunrise Point and Sunset Point along the canyon rim. We then went down into the Hoodoos and did the Queen's Garden and Navajo Loop before going all the way around and up through here on the Fairyland Loop.
With a quick pit stop at the end for a Snickers ice cream bar. And for the rest of the day, we're going to drive the 18-mile scenic drive, stopping at viewpoints along the way and find a good spot for sunset. For our final stop of the day, we are going to check out sunset at Bryce Point.
This is probably the most hoodoos we've seen grouped together throughout the whole park. There are so many This is such a beautiful sunset spot. The sun's gonna tuck behind there any second. It's gonna get kind of dark in there, but right now there's like this glowy light. It's so, so pretty.
That's gonna do it for our time here at Bryce Canyon National Park. If you're planning on coming here or Zion, we have a guide on our website that has even more things to do, places to stay, and tips for each park.
We're actually going to be backtracking a bit in our next video. We hurried here to Bryce because in a couple days their shuttle system starts running. And when the shuttle is running, any vehicle over 20 feet cannot drive in basically all the popular areas of the park. And our van is over 20 feet. So we didn't want to deal with that. So we came to Bryce sooner than we planned to. So in our next video, we're going to be west of Bryce to show you guys more things to do in southern Utah. Taking a quick break in the van.
And hand warmer. I'm starting to feel my fingers again.
Lie on the eastern slope of the Ponsegant Peninsula. Oh, not peninsula! Ah! I can't find my strings. I don't have any feeling in my hands. Do I look cute?
Check it out.
Oh no.
Except it's not cold, not warm on the outside of the Yetis. That's the only bad thing.
Coffee's not warm anymore either.
That's gonna do it for our time here at Bryce National Park. Bryce National Park.
It's close enough, but it's not right.
Ready?